Let's run Penny Lane. I thought this one was nice. How the Beatles wrote the perfect chord progression by Paul Davis.
Penny Lane, there is a barber showing photographs. Very handy.
Okay, well, at least one whole bar, but then we definitely need something different, right? So in part 2 we find 2-5-1, often called a turnaround as well, because it brings us back to the beginning chord, which results to C sharp minor, to F sharp major, and back to B. And indeed, it has a familiar ring to it, right?
Penny Lane, there is a barber showing photographs. Very handy.
Sounds great, right? But we need to get a step further to get closer to what ended up on the record, because in the basis of the very song lies not the 2-5-1, but another very commonly seen jazz progression: 1-6-2-5, and back to 1. No, it doesn't mean anything to you? Well, we all know the progression. It's, for example, this. Always look on the bright side of life. Anyway, as we'll hear, it sounds great with the song Penny Lane.
Penny Lane, there is a barber showing photographs. Very handy.
Sounds lovely. So now we can turn all the chords, apart from the first chord, into 7th chords, because apparently that's what they do in jazz, and it sounds fancy, and I'm a fancy man, Paul McCartney is a fancy man, so let's see how that sounds.
Penny Lane, there is a barber showing photographs. Very handy.
Sweet, but aren't we talking about Paul McCartney? He's the bass dude, right? The bass player. And so far there isn't anything going on in that lower region, so let's enter walking bass. The most obvious thing is to see if we can walk from chord to chord. And yeah, we can follow the B major scale down, and we see that we can... Lovely, but now Paul does something great, because he extends that descending B major scale down all the way to E, where we actually should hear the C sharp minor chord. And why not? Because the E note is found in the C sharp minor chord already. It's the minor third, so it sounds great. So he keeps on walking to E, and then he plays the root note of the C sharp minor chord after it, getting this. And of course, if you want to get back to the B major eventually, we need to play the 5 chord. It just works so well. So after the C sharp minor, 2, we play the 5, the F sharp 7th. And there we are.
Penny Lane, there is a barber showing photographs. Very handy.
Alright, so this is the first round, and if you think that so far it isn't that special or unique, just wait 1 second, because there is something coming where Paul introduces us to his sheer brilliance. So where everyone would expect the same thing happening. Oh,
This is nice. Explain the...
over again. He suddenly creeps up on us with maybe the most unexpected chord out there. Let's have a listen.
Penny Lane, there is a barber showing photographs. Very handy, he's had a pleasure to know. And all the people.
It's a B minor chord in the key of B major, and it really comes out of nowhere, doesn't it? So this is something we call a borrowed chord. We land the chord from the relative key. The relative key is B minor, so we call this modal mixture, modal interchange, and it doesn't happen that often on the tonic, on the 1 chord. So if this chord doesn't sound that strange or spicy to you, that is simply because you just heard it so often, you take it for granted, but it is a very odd chord choice out there. Just listen to the original mix, not the 2015 remaster. The original sounds better. Anyway, when that B minor chord comes along, the entire orchestration changes. It's is highly emphasized. So the snare drum goes away, there's a new instrument that plugs the chord along with the piano. So they really want you to hear that B minor chord. They put it out there. So it's the 1 to the 6 and then to 1 minor 7. And Paul sings that minor 7 note, by the way, to know, which is very cool. So now let's see how he continues in that B minor world all of a sudden. We know he goes back to B major eventually, but how? Well, probably via F sharp 7. But let's see what happens.
Penny Lane, there is a bar showing photographs of every head he's had the pleasure to know, and all the people that come and go, stop and say hello. On the corner is a bank.
Alright, there is some spicy stuff going on. So after that B minor chord, he goes to a G sharp in the bass. He keeps that B minor on top, and then he puts the G sharp in the bass note, creating a G sharp minor 7 flat 5, or half diminished, or just B minor over G sharp, whatever you wish. But it is really unexpected, to be honest. I would expect the bass in that B minor realm going down via the B minor scale, creating sort of an Andalusian cadence. B minor over A, over G, and then F sharp.
Every head he's had the pleasure to know, and all the people that come and go, stop and say hello.
So that works. But no, Paul chooses to play a G sharp. Sounds like
Every
this.
head he's had the pleasure to know, and all the people that come and go, stop and say hello.
And that sounds really awesome. There's just a little bit more weight to that G sharp, right? It is sort of again a modal mixture, but now the other way around, because now we're in the B minor realm. We play a G sharp coming from the G major, or G minor Dorian. Anyway, it sounds great. So after that G sharp, we go down 1 semitone in the bass to a G major 7th, or a B minor over G. And then again, we go down 1 more semitone to F sharp, creating that F sharp 7 sus4 to F sharp 7, going down. And back to B major, the first chord of the verse again. So when we hit that B major chord again, we just do the same thing.
On the corner is a bank with a motor car. The little children laugh at him behind his back, and the banker never wears a mask in the pouring rain.
But this wouldn't be a Beatles song if there wasn't some sort of modulation craziness going on in there. And yes, we do change keys. So in the chorus, we go from B major, that we just played the verses, to A major. So where does that come from? Well, apparently from Paul's brain, but how do we get there? How do we get to that A major chord? So we need a chord that pushes us in the right direction, and we call that a pivot chord. A chord that can be found in both keys, so a chord found in B major and a chord found in A major. That works well all the time. So we know that the 5 chord really begs us to go someplace. So what is the 5 chord of A, the new key? That would be E major. And E is also in the key of B major. It is the 4 chord. So now we get something very cool. After that, F sharp 7 sus4, we play. So we use the E as a pivot chord, going from the key of B major to A major, and it is very strange. That is how you modulate to A major. So now there's just 3 basic chords, nothing too fancy going on to listen. So nothing too fancy going on here, apart from it being super catchy and memorable. A major, A over C sharp, and a D major chord. But there is a problem. So how do we get back to the verses being in B major again? I guess we need another pivot chord, right? Or we could use something called a secondary dominant for this too, I guess. Because the second time around, we cut the D major in half where I just stopped playing. And we follow that with, again, 3 cheesy, not cheesy, it's just F sharp 7s again. Bringing us back to B major. Alright, so how does that sound in the context?
Penny Lane is in my ears and in my eyes. Beneath the blue suburban skies, I see it meanwhile that Penny Lane there is a fire with an hourglass.
And that is how it's done. It sounds awesome, right? But we're not there yet, because at the end of every song, remember, there's always 2 choruses, right? Everyone wants to sing along and be happy, and they do something so clever, which adds even another modulation to, or are we going, anyway, there's something cool going on. So in the chorus, we always throw you back to the key of the verse, right? So in the chorus, we are in A major, and that's D major. Brings us back to the key of the verse of B. But in the second to last chorus, the same thing happens again. But no, we don't go to a verse, but we go to the chorus played in the key of the verse. So instead of A major, we play the chorus in B major, and it just sounds so awesome.
There beneath the blue silver skies, I see it meanwhile that Penny Lane is in my ears and in my eyes. There beneath the blue silver skies, Penny Lane.
How cool does that sound? It sounds so super bright, right? Really milking that whole modulation game. Such a lovely display of what we can do with a secondary dominant, pivot chords, modal mixture, modulating. It's just really interesting to see how Paul McCartney writes these songs. Anyway, I made a whole video about the secondary dominant too, by the way, if you want to learn even more about it. On the bright side of life. And it sounds fancy. He's the bass dude.
Really nice. The modulation and secondary dominant. That's the connect out.
Well, they would do 1, 2, and then so you put those together, and then on top of it you might put. You know, I meet a lot of young groups, and I say, I can't read music or write it. They go, what? And it's like, well, that doesn't work. Well, if you've done this, how can you do it without? But it means that it's here. It's not on a bit of paper. I tell kids who want to learn the piano, I say, okay, here's you go. Start with middle C. We all know that. It's the first thing in the piano lesson. And then think about like the Eddie Cochran thing. You say, well, that's a chord if you play this together. And you just got that. Remember this and that. So you do that, 1 space, finger, 1 space, finger. So there you got the chord. I say, you know, we started there. And so you could kind of write a song with that. But if you just move this up 1, it's the same shape. You've got another chord. Now you've got 2 chords. You move it up again, you've got 3 chords. And move it up again, you've got 4 chords. And then again, you've got 5. And then now you've got 6. Well, you don't need more than that. So you can now put permutations of that. And you get songs you're going. And it's that same little shape.
Yeah.
But that shape is a marvelous shape. You can do anything with that shape. You know.
Did your dad teach you that shape?
No, we figured that out. We had to go this to do Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yeah.
Oh, baby, whole lot of shape moving on. So once you figure that, so it's really gets super fascinating, I think.
Absolutely.
You know, you got all the chords you can play, you put those in permutations, then mess with the bass notes. Obvious thing to do is to do the note one octave down that relates to that chord. Or what you can do.
Harmony.
And you're getting really dramatic now.
Yeah.
And I think that's all we ever did, you know, just experimented. John doing it, Imagine. You can hear that's him.
Yeah.
It's just sort of what we learned based on that.
Yeah.
I saw John Legend the other night, and John's doing this. Forget what the song was, and then he sort of goes. But that's those.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, if you put some nice soul stuff over that. I got my pain in my heart. You know. Our favourite composer was Bach in the Beatles because it was nearest to what we were doing. We would say, just put a beat behind it.
Yeah.
Be better.
Yeah.
Be better, man.
Yeah.
What I liked about it was the mathematical thing, so that you kind of go, well, in Eleanor Rigby. You do that, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you found out this is what they would do. 1, 2, and then, you know, so you put those together, and then on top of it you might put. So you've got like, you know, 2 or 4 or 8
Yeah.
singing the piano, and then think about like the Eddie Cochran thing.
That's nice. Move forward. Oh. Right. Let's play Penny Lane. Hmm? And E. And and E. Little by little I used to point. Where was that? and and trumpet. Where was that? Penny, penny, anywhere in my heart. Alright, let's play again. And now I focus on chord. B, A sharp, B, B minor, and G sharp. F sharp, and B, A sharp, B, B minor, B, G sharp, G, F sharp, da da, E, and A, B, D, da da da, D, yeah, F sharp, da 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 da, and B, F sharp, B, B minor, G, G sharp, F sharp, and trumpet solo. Da 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 da. and F sharp. And the last chorus. B, and E. And E. Now I run little baritone. Right, good.
So it starts straight away in the key of B, very bright. But then we go to the minor instead, B minor. So we go from B major to B minor, really unusual thing to do, and it's just so starkly dark in that moment. Which is something we see kind of in the lyrics as well, like bright images contrasted with darker images, creating this sort of sharp contrast. So we get to the minor chord, and then we go through another verse, but when we get to the chorus, it's not in B, instead we have a really unconventional key change downwards. Often key changes go in the upwards direction, so you'd be in B, and maybe you'd go up to C, and you'd get this kind of uplift. But instead, they're in B, we go down to A.
Lovely, but now Paul does something great because he extends that descending beam. It's, for example, this. Great, right? But we need to get a step further, to get closer to it, and then up on the record. Because on the basis of the very song lies not the 2-5-1, but another very commonly seen jazz progression: 1, 6, 2, 5, and back to 1. No, it doesn't mean anything to you. Well, we all know the progression. It's, for example, this. Always look on the bright side of life. Anyway, as we'll hear, it sounds great with the song Penny Lane.
Penny Lane, there is a bar, show photographs. Very heavy.
Sounds lovely. So now we can turn all the chords, apart from the first chord, into seventh chords, because apparently that's what they do in jazz, and it sounds fancy. And I'm a fancy man, Paul McCartney is a fancy man, so let's see how that sounds.
Penny Lane, there is a bar, show photographs. Very heavy.
Sweet, but aren't we talking about Paul McCartney? He's the bass dude, right? The bass player. And so far there isn't anything going on in the lower region. So let's enter a walking bass. The most obvious thing is to see if we can walk from chord to chord. And yeah, we can follow the B major scale down, and we see that again. Lovely, but now Paul does something great because he extends that descending B major scale down all the way to E, where we actually should hear the C-sharp minor chord. And why not? Because the E note is found in the C-sharp minor chord already. It's the minor third, so it sounds great. So he keeps on walking to E, and then he plays the root note of the C-sharp minor chord after it, getting this. And of course, if you want to get back to the B major eventually, we need to play the 5 chord. It just works so well. So after the C-sharp minor, 2, we play the 5, the F-sharp 7th. there we are.
Penny Lane, there is a bar, show photographs of every head he's had.
Alright, so this is the first round, and if you think that so far it isn't that special or unique, just wait 1 second because there is something coming where Paul introduces us to his sheer brilliance. So where everyone would expect the same thing happening over again, he suddenly creeps up on us with maybe the most unexpected chord out there. Let's have a listen.
Penny Lane, there is a bar, show photographs of every head he's had a pleasure to know.
It's a B minor chord in the key of B major, and it really comes out of nowhere, doesn't it? So this is something we call a borrowed chord. We lend the chord from the relative key. The relative key is B minor, so we call this modal mixture, modal interchange, and it doesn't happen that often on the tonic, on the one chord. So
This is really nice on the song. And this is not on the B major key, that's why it's called borrowed chord. B minor. It's nice.
if this chord doesn't sound that strange or spicy to you, that is simply because you just heard it so often, you take it for granted. But it is a very odd chord choice out there. Just listen to the original mix, not the 2015 remaster. The original sounds better. Anyway, when that B minor chord comes along, the entire orchestration changes, is highly emphasized. So the snare drum goes away, there's a new instrument that plucks the chord along with the piano. So they really want you to hear that B minor chord. They put it out there. So it's the 1 to the 6 and then to the 1 minor 7. And Paul sings that minor 7 note, by the way, to know, which is very cool. So now let's see how he continues in that B minor world all of a sudden. We know he goes back to B major eventually, but how? Well, probably via F sharp 7. But let's see what happens.
Penny Lane, there is a bar, show photographs of every head he's had a pleasure to know. And all the people that come and go, stop and say hello. On the corner is a bank.
Alright, there is some spicy stuff going on. So after that B minor chord, he goes to a G sharp in the bass. He keeps that B minor on top, and then he puts the G sharp in the bass note, creating a G sharp minor 7 flat 5, or half diminished, or just B minor over G sharp, whatever you wish. But it is really unexpected, to be honest. I would expect the bass in that B minor realm going down via the B minor scale, creating sort of an Andalusian cadence. B minor over A over G and then F sharp.
Every head he's had a pleasure to know. And all the people that come and go, stop and say hello.
So that works. But no, Paul chooses to play a G sharp. Sounds like
Every
this.
head he's had a pleasure to know. And all the people that come and go, stop and say hello.
And that sounds really awesome. There's just a little bit more weight to that G sharp, right? It is sort of, again, a modal mixture, but now the other way around, because now we're in the B minor realm. We play a G sharp coming from the G major, or G minor Dorian. Anyway, it sounds great. So after that G sharp, we go down one semitone in the bass to a G major 7th, or a B minor over G. And then again, we go down one more semitone to F sharp, creating that F sharp 7 sus4 to F sharp 7, going down, and back to B major, the first chord of the verse again. So when we hit that B major chord again, we just do the same thing all
On the
over.
corner is a banker with a motor car. The little children laughing him behind his back. And on the bank the man wears a mask in the pouring rain.
But this wouldn't be a Beatles song if there wasn't some sort of modulation craziness going on in there. And yes, we do change keys. So in the chorus, we go from B major, that we just played in the verses, to A major. So where does that come from? Well, apparently from Paul's brain, but how do we get there? How do we get to that A major chord? So we need a chord that pushes us in the right direction, and we call that a pivot chord. A chord that can be found in both keys. So a chord found in B major and a chord found in A major. That works well all the time. So we know that the 5 chord really begs us to go someplace. So what is the 5 chord of A, the new key? That would be E major. And E is also in the key of B major. It is the 4 chord. So now we get something very cool. After that, F sharp 7 sus 4, we play. So we use the E as a pivot chord, going from the key of B major to A major, and it is very strange.
Down the back and everywhere as a man in the pouring rain. Very strange. Penny Lane is in my
That is how you modulate to A major. So now there's just 3 basic chords, nothing too fancy going on. So
Penny
listen.
Lane is in my ears and in my eyes. There beneath the blue suburban skies I see.
So nothing too fancy going on here, apart from it being super catchy and memorable. A major, A over C sharp, and a D major chord. But there is a problem. So how do we get back to the verses being in B major again? I guess we need another pivot chord, right? Or we could use something called a secondary dominant for this too, I guess. Because that second time round, we cut the D major in half, where I just stopped playing. And we follow that with, again, 3 cheesy, not cheesy, it's just F sharp 7s again. Bringing us back to B major. Alright, so how does that sound in the context?
Penny Lane is in my ears and in my eyes. There beneath the blue suburban skies I see them. Meanwhile that Penny Lane there is a fire under an hourglass.
And that is how it's done. It sounds awesome, right? But we're not there yet, because at the end of every song, remember, there's always 2 choruses, right? Everyone wants to sing along and be happy, and they do something so clever, which adds even another modulation to, or are we going, anyway, there's something cool going on. So in the chorus, we always throw you back to the key of the verse, right? So in the chorus, we are in A major, and that's D major. Brings us back to the key of the verse of B. But in the second to last chorus, the same thing happens again. But no, we don't go to a verse, but we go to the chorus played in the key of the verse. So instead of A major, we play the chorus in B major, and it just sounds so awesome.
There beneath the
Really milking that whole modulation game. Such a lovely display of what we can do with a secondary dominant, pivot chords, modal mixture, modulating. It's just really interesting to see how Paul McCartney writes these songs. Anyway, I made a whole video about the secondary dominant too, by the way. If you want to learn even more about it, you can check it out over here. And if you're just as much into playing acoustic guitar as I am, I would love for you to check out my guitar course, Acoustic Adventure. This is made for everyone that wants to play awesome fingerstyle or hit with the song Penny Lane.
Penny Lane there is a
He learns a lot from the song. was that? Five and one. That's understanding the 5-1 makes me easier to remember. And how was it? How was da da da? Da 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe E. 5 and 1. So. One, two, three, 4, and go back to B and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Da, da, da. And ready for changing A. And going A. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5. So E. Basement. And going B, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. it's easier to remember now. It's easier to remember the B and going key change modulation to A. So when going to B to A, there's 5 of A, 1, 2, 4, 4, 5. So da da. So the pivot chord. And B, going back to B, so 5 will be 1, 2, 4, 5. So F sharp. Da, 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 and going to E, A, so fifth. Da, da, so da, da, in my heart. Da, and go back to B, so 5 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Da, 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 da. It's a nice familiar song, and also the five, 1 and 5, 1. These chord progression help me to understand the song. So 6, 5, 1. Going back to B key, both using B, but I think there's some difference. Da, da. The vocal from B, da, penile, da, da, da. Maybe this da 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 da. This melody line or riff makes some key point da 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 da. This one we really use a lot. Da 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 da. The trumpet solo. This 3 note is really important. B, C sharp, and D sharp. Da 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 da. And on some transition, use B, C sharp, and D, natural D. And on last chorus in B key, it's a da da da. So it's a penny line da da da. It's a major third. So maybe that's the reason the last chorus is bright. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. The interval might be the key. Da 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 da. Da da da. At the first of the song, da 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 da. So it's a chromatic, like the smooth da da da. But on the last chorus, da da da. It's similar, but having the really bright tone. at first. This is not that bright than this. Da 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 da. Now I think I understand more about the song than before. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Where was it? So, it might be said that on the first part, very early part of the song, is actually playing the B nice. The melody contains this, so da 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 da. Maybe this ninth is a key of major chord, but the melody line has a ninth, and so it's not like everything bright, like more like nostalgic. So maybe on the really beginning of the song, playing B nice, Benny da 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 da, B nice and B might describe the nostalgic tone of the song. And major penny down, penny down. Penny And E. La da da. Da 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 da. Da da da. Da 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 da. Da da da. And F7, so and E7s. And go back to A. Alright, I learned a lot from the song. Now I'm so hungry. Maybe I need to get honey pie. Thank you for watching. Hit the like and subscribe.